Hello everyone, welcome to tutorials on artificial intelligence. Myself Sampreet Patel, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Walchand Institute of Technology, Sholapur. Today we are going to see two new more types of agents. Okay, so this would be the third part of the video where we are going to see the types of agents. So initially we had seen simple reflex agent, model based agent and goal based agent. Now in this video we are going to concentrate on utility based agents and learning agents. Okay, so after this video you will be able to formulate and solve sequence of actions for an agent such as a search problem. As we have seen a goal based agent in the previous video, goals alone are not enough to generate high quality behavior in most environments. So let's take for an example, many action sequence will get a taxi to its destination, thereby achieving the goal. But some routes are quicker, safer and more reliable, or more cheaper on the other hand. Goals just provide a simple binary distinction between happy and an unhappy state. A more general performance measure should allow the comparison of different world states according to the exactly how happy they would make an agent. So here the meaning of happy is minimizing the route, maximizing the safety and reliability, reducing the cost of travel, etc. As happy does not sound very scientific, economists and computer scientists have used the term as utility instead. So we have already seen that the performance measure assigns the score to any given sequence of environment state. Okay, so it can easily distinguish between more and less desirable ways of getting the taxi to its destination. An agent utility function is essential to internalization of the performance measures. If the internal utility function and the external performance measures are in agreement or they work together hand in hand, then an agent that chooses action to maximize its utility and not the goal will be a rational according to the external performance measure. Okay, so let us emphasize again that this is not the only way of being rational. We have already seen a rational agent program for a vacuum world in our previous videos that has no idea what its utility function is. But like a goal-based agent, a utility-based agent has many advantages in terms of flexibility and learning. So in two kinds of cases, goals are inadequate, but utility-based agents can still make a rational decision. So the two kinds of cases are, first one, when there are conflicting goals, only some of which can be achieved, for example, speed and safety. The utility function specifies the appropriate trade-off, whether you want speed or whether you want safety. So depending on the trade-off, the utility-based agent selects an appropriate option. The second thing is, when there are several goals that the agent can aim for, none of which can be achieved with certainty, utility provides a way in which the likelihood of success can be weighed against the importance of goal. Okay, if you see that if the environment is partially observable and non-deterministic in the real world, the decision make is under an uncertainty because you are not clear about the environment in partial observability and non-deterministic. So in partial observable environment, some of the elements or attributes of that environment are not known, whereas in non-deterministic, that is also called as stochastic environment, we do not know the states after the action is taken. So after one action is taken, the environment will go in what state is not clear. So in both these cases, the decision that is made is uncertain. So technically speaking, a rational utility based agent chooses an action that maximizes the expected utility of the action's outcomes. That is, the utility the agent expects to derive on an average given the probability and that utilities of each outcome. Okay, so wherever the probability of success or to reaching a particular destination is more, utility based agent will choose or go for that particular option. Okay, so an agent that possesses an explicit utility function can make rational decisions with a general purpose algorithm that does not depend on the specific utility function being maximized. In this way, a global definition for rationality is designating as rational those agent functions that have the highest performance is turned into a local constraint on rational agent designs that can be expressed by a single program. Okay, so see this particular schematic diagram of utility based agent, or we also say model based utility based agent. So it uses a model of world along with the utility function, okay, that measures the performance among the states. So if you see here that the states and the utility, here the utility checks that given the states and performing what your action would be here in the third block of the curved boxes, it will the utility will define how happy a particular agent will be in that particular state, and according to this it will choose what action is to be taken by the actuators. Okay, so this is the schematic representation of a utility based diagram. Okay, now moving forward to a particular question that we go in every video. So let's assume, or rather I assume that you have gone through the previous videos before going through this particular video. Try to answer the question that what is the difference between a goal-based agent and a utility-based agent. So it is a pretty simple thing to understand. If you have gone through the examples that I've taken in the videos, a goal-based agent acts to achieve a particular goal regardless of the attributes of performance it has. So it will not consider the cost of the actions, it will not consider the safety, or it will not consider the route in the sense of taxi that it is going to take, whether the route is long or short. Whereas utility based agent tries to maximize their own expected happiness. Okay, so this is the answer for this particular question. Now moving forward to our last type of agent here. Sorry. So the agent is the learning agent. So we have described the agent programs in with various methods for selecting an action. What we have not done is now explained by an agent program called an learning agent. Okay, so in a famous early paper, Alan Turing in 1950 considers the idea of actual programming his intelligent machine by hand. Okay, so a learning agent can be divided into 4 conceptual components that you can see in the figure. So the most important distinction is improvement and the performance element. Okay, this is the performance element that has been added, okay, which is responsible for selecting the external actions. Okay, this performance element is responsible for the external actions. Okay, so performance element is what we have previously considered to be the entire agent. Okay, so the entire agent is now taking a form of a particular element. So it takes in the percepts and decides the action. Okay, it takes in the percepts from the sensors and decides for the actions taken to the by the actuators. Okay, so the learning element uses feedback from the critics on how an agent is doing and determines how the performance element should be modified to do better in the future. Okay, so we'll see one by one each element, so or component. So the design of the learning element, that is this, depends very much on the design of the performance element. So when trying to design an agent that learns a certain capability, its first question is not how am I going to do it to learn this, but the question will always be what kind of performance element will my agent need to do this once it has learned how. Okay, so please see the two difference in the two questions. Okay, So given an agent design, learning mechanism can be constructed to improve every part of that agent. Another component is the critics, which tells the learning element how well the agent is doing with respect to the fixed performance standards. So the critic is necessary because the percepts themselves provide no indication of the agent's success. For example, a chess program could receive a percept indicating that it has checkmated its opponent, but it needs a performance standard to know that it is the good thing. The percept itself does not say so. So percept is only the data that is received through the sensors. So it is important that the performance standards are fixed. So conceptually, one should think of it as being outside the agent altogether, because the agent must not modify it to fit in its own behavior. Okay, so the last component is the problem generator. So if it is responsible of suggesting actions that will lead to a new informative experience. The point that if the performance element had its way, it would keep doing the actions that are best given what it is it knows. But if the agent is willing to explore a little and do some perhaps suboptimal actions in the short run, it might discover much better actions for a long run. So the problem generator's job is to suggest this exploratory actions. This is what scientists do when they carry out different experiments. Okay, so to make an overall design more concrete, let us turn to an automated taxi example. The performance element consists of whatever collection of knowledge and procedures the taxi has for selecting its driving actions. So the taxi goes out on the road and drives using its performance elements. Critics observes the world and attributes that passes the information along the learning element. For example, after the taxi makes a quick left turn across 3 lanes of traffic, the critic observes the shocking language used by other drivers. From this experience, the learning element is able to formulate a rule saying that this was a bad action, and the performance element is modified by installation of new rules. So the problem generator might identify certain areas of behavior in need of improvement and suggest experiments, such as trying out brakes on different road surfaces under different conditions. So I hope you are very clear with what is utility based agent and a learning based agent. These are some references that I have used to create this video and PPT. Thank you.